Whether you struggle to pay attention and maintain focus, or even not, doesn't it sound great to be able to improve our attention spans and ability to focus? And it is actually something we can improve. A lot of people talk about phone notifications distracting us, but the one that always gets me is I'll be working on one task and that'll just touch on another topic that I wanted to research a little more or just look into, and I will take that side quest every time and abandon my original task. Unfortunately, many of us probably have guilty pleasures that hurt our ability to focus. So it makes sense that, in turn, we would also look for ways that we could improve it to balance it out. In this video, I'm going to talk about attention training, which is a general term, but then I'm also going to take a deeper look into ATT specifically. Hello, I'm Kait and I make videos about productivity and organization, but let's get back to talking about attention training. So you might be starting at any level. You might have a really scattered attention, which would mean that you really struggle to focus and you're always bouncing between tasks. If that's you, look at me, don't get distracted. You should definitely watch this video. You have the most to gain from it. You would probably also benefit from my multitasking video, which I will put here now, but I'll also put it at the end. You can click it then, don't get distracted now. Or on the other end, you might be someone who doesn't particularly struggle to pay attention, but you acknowledge that you could be better. We could all always be better. And this kind of self-improvement, the effort pays for itself. If you can improve your attention span just a little bit, you can get more work done faster, which will directly lead to more professional success and just getting more done and accomplishing your dreams. When you think about it that way, it becomes really obvious that focus is a skill that we should train and improve. And luckily for us, this is an area that people before us have put a lot of thought and research into. So I'm going to summarize everything I was able to find researching this topic. Starting now with techniques we can use to train our focus. Number one is mindfulness meditation. This one's all about becoming present in the moment. Meditation helps you train your attention to stay grounded and resist distractions. There are tons of apps and guided meditations out there, but even just a few minutes focusing on your breath can really help. I'm putting meditation first for a reason. It's the best. But I also acknowledge it is not very good advice for anyone who really struggles with their attention. It's like if I was asking for advice on how I could train to do 10 pull-ups and someone told me to just do pull-ups. I can't do any right now, so I need something easier. Meditation isn't easy, but some of those apps are pretty easy. So I wouldn't discard meditation as an option for improving your focus. If what you're trying is just too hard, look for an easier app. Okay, let's move on to the next one, which is much more fun. It's brain training games. There are tons of these out there designed to improve attention span, memory, and speed. These often involve visual tracking, quick decision making, or audio discrimination, and they're very engaging. They're games, but they still work because you need to give them your full attention. Okay, next up is focus training exercises. And now we're getting a little farther down the attention training rabbit hole. These are specific exercises that have been designed to improve focus. Most commonly, these train your attention by having you focus on a specific object, sound, or activity for a specific amount of time without getting distracted. These are literal exercises where you are focusing so hard it starts to get uncomfortable. You are pushing and expanding your abilities. Next is metacognitive strategies, and this is going one step deeper now. This is about understanding your own thought patterns and how they affect your attention span. For example, someone might find themselves regularly getting distracted by negative thoughts, and that pulls their attention away from the task at hand. Metacognitive strategies are about identifying these patterns. And of course, the first step to improvement is understanding the problem. So this actually can be very, very effective. Okay, moving on to the next section of the video. It's not as gritty as exercises, but we have to talk about lifestyle changes. These can make a big difference in our ability to focus. Now, I know none of us really want to change our ways, but some of these are actually easier than doing exercises, so don't click away. First is nature immersion. Spending time in nature has been proven to improve focus and reduce stress. And this one is really so easy. You just need to find a place with a little bit of plant life and take a short walk. Next is nutrition, and I know this is not an easy one to improve. But if you're already trying to motivate yourself to eat better, and who isn't, then here's one more reason for you to try hard to do it. We tend to think of our mental and physical selves as separate, but in the end, your brain is a physical organ in your physical body, and it is positively affected by a balanced diet. And last is reduced screen time. Phones are the ultimate distractors, so this isn't a surprise to anybody. But the more we give our brains that constant screen stimulation, the more our brains crave it. So just like we can train our brains with meditation or exercises, we can also train our brains by weaning them off a heavy amount of screen time to something more reasonable. Okay, so that is all attention training in general. But there is one technique, the aptly called attention training technique, or ATT, that is the hot thing in attention training right now. And it's pretty simple and kind of fun to do. You can do this on your own or using a prepared audio. On your own, you would go and sit somewhere with different noises and set a timer for 5 to 10 minutes and pick one of the sounds to focus on. And when you want, you listen to all the sounds again and pick a new one to focus on. Now, it's convenient to be able to do that anytime, any place, but you might still prefer a prepared audio track. These are pretty easy to find. You can search YouTube for ATT and you should find several. And I'll do a really quick one right now so you can see what these are like. Ready? Get comfy in your seat, close your eyes, because we are going to start right now. Let's start by focusing on the sound of the birds. Ignore all their sounds and focus all of your attention on the sounds of the birds. Thoughts are likely to come into your head. Just let them pass and bring your attention back to the birds. Now, we will turn our attention to the traffic. Only listen to the traffic noises. Have you been able to keep focused on the traffic? Now, let's listen to the rain. Focus on just the sound of the rain. Now, let's listen to the birds again. And finally, bring your attention to my voice. We are going to leave the birds and traffic for now and go back to learning about attention training. But I hope you enjoyed this example of ATT. The benefits of improving our focus and attention go beyond just being able to get more work done. So that is a really nice benefit. I work for myself, so of course I'm always wishing I could get more done. But I do remember having a regular job, and it still would have been nice then to get my tasks done faster, either to impress my boss or to have a little time for some personal stuff I wanted to do. Because of course we all have personal work we want to do. It's still work, it's just not our jobs. Stuff like planning a trip, filing your taxes, or researching a purchase. It's also nice to be able to focus on those tasks and get them done and get them off your back, But that is still all work. And we're going to talk now about benefits beyond work. First is deeper work and deeper learning. When you spend more time on a task, you get more in it. Your mind really wraps around the problem and your understanding gets deeper. And the second benefit is basically a consequence of the first, and that's enhanced creativity. You're going to have those breakthroughs, those aha moments, those really great ideas when you are deeply focused on something more than when you're superficially working on it. And the third is improved relationships. Let me tell you, people know when you are paying attention to them or not. I'm divorced, and something that really ate at my ended marriage was the feeling of not being listened to. And on the other side of that coin, my partner now, I can mention something to him just once, and he will follow up, maybe a week later, without any nagging that he took care of it. And I brag about him doing that. You better believe I do. And my friends are always blown away speechless that anyone can be in a long-term relationship and the man still listens to the woman like that. But that's one extreme of the relationship spectrum, your romantic partner, the person you are closest to in the whole world. But it's also true at the opposite end, people you've just met. Imagine being in a conversation circle with a bunch of people who don't know each other very well. There's one person who's not only listening to you when you're speaking, but to everyone speaking. They are engaged and asking interesting questions. They're part of the conversation, but listening more than talking. You're going to remember that person in a positive way if you see them again. Maybe you'll even exchange contact info then. And there's another person in that circle who just kind of keeps looking around and isn't saying much. Personally, I'm going to make one of two assumptions. Either they're a bit socially awkward, or they're looking around the room for someone more important to go talk to instead. I know those are not kind assumptions, but that will be my first impression when I meet someone who's not paying attention. Okay, so there you have it. We talked about the problem of lacking focus, attention training in general, including techniques like meditation, games, and focus training, and metacognitive training, and then ATT, attention training technique specifically. And I showed you an example of that. And finally, we talked about the benefits of attention training, which of course included being able to focus on tasks, get them done faster, and also being able to do deeper work with enhanced creativity and improved relationships. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider a subscribe, a like, watching another one of my videos, or all of the above if you really liked it. I genuinely thank you for watching all the way to the end. Hug. I will put that multitasking video that I mentioned before on screen now, and I'll see you over there. Ciao.